October 1942, Big Vein, Virginia. The leaves were bright as jack-o'-lanterns. The crisp air tasted of ghost stories and candy apples and bonfires. Bone Phillips loved this time of year, and she was determined nothing would spoil it. Not the war, not her daddy being called up, not the sugar rationing, not the gift, and, least of all, not her Aunt Mattie. Bone felt a twinge of guilt for that last thought. Uncle Henry's funeral had been only last week, but it was Ruby she felt sorry for mostly. Stepping off the back porch of the boarding house and onto the gravel road that led to school, Bone caught sight of two of the little jewels, Pearl and Opal, leaving the parsonage yard, alone. The boys had started calling them the little jewels at the beginning of the school year, and it had stuck. Pearl, Opal, and Ruby went everywhere together. Until now. Pearl and Opal cast a glance back toward the parsonage before trudging toward school. The first bell rang. Bone took off running. She skidded to a stop in front of the parsonage, outside the perfect white picket fence. It was supposed to be Ruby's first day back to school after the funeral. The curtains were still pulled tight, but now a little banner with a single gold star outlined in blue hung in the window. For Uncle Henry. It was like autumn had come for the star, turning it golden. Would it change to fire and rust and fall to the ground come winter? Would others fall too? Almost every house in Big Vein had a blue star, including the boarding house. Uncle Henry had gone down with his ship in the North Atlantic. Daddy might be heading across soon, too. She hadn't heard from him in 9 days. Mamaw said it was to be expected, but Bone still had nightmares about him being lost somewhere. Not in the ocean, like Uncle Henry. In her dreams, Daddy was wandering through deep, dark, foreign woods at night, with not even a lantern to light his way home. Bone shook off the dream. Ruby was going to school, whether she liked it or not. Flinging open the gate, Bone marched right up to the front door of the parsonage. Raising her hand to knock, she hesitated. The gold star stared back at her. Without thinking, Bone touched the glass between her and the star, and immediately snatched her hand back. The star was nearly as scalding as a canning jar straight out of the pot, even through the window pane. She saw a flash of Aunt Mattie crumpling as the army man handed her a folded flag and the gold star. It called to Bone. She took a deep breath and gingerly touched the glass again. This time, she saw Ruby carefully pressing the gold star over the blue one on the banner. The new star was smaller, and Ruby gritted her teeth as she eyeballed placing it exactly in the center. "Don't bother with that," Aunt Mattie yelled at Ruby. "Daddy was a hero," Ruby replied quietly.